A successful research project requires effective research data management. Developing a plan at the start of your project will ensure your data is well organised, accessible to others, and compliant with ethics and policy requirements. This presentation will show you what to consider to inform good practice and how bad practices can affect your research data management. Collecting data for your research project is more effective when you have a plan of how and where you are going to get the information. This way you can identify potential barriers or problems and understand the timeframes in which you'll work. If data collection is not properly planned, you run the risk of duplication of effort and difficulties in accessing potentially useful sources. During the collection process, it is important to manage your data, ensuring a clear structure and version control of files that are edited. This is particularly important when working within a team and will also make access and usability easier during the analysis stage of your project. Poorly planned data collection could lead to unethical practice where data is collected without appropriate control and where the stored files may be open to corruption or unapproved reuse. Access and reuse of data can be mandated by funder policies and are key elements of open access research. Bad data management can result in uncontrolled access to data that breaches ethical considerations and allows third parties to create commercial derivatives of your work or to reuse your work for unethical purposes. It can also lead to data that other researchers have difficulty finding and accessing. You need to consider where you are going to store your data and how you can then give people access to your research via your storage medium. Good data management will result in the creation of data that can be accessed and reused in a controlled and authorised way, ensuring that data that needs to be available to the public is, and data that is confidential is kept in a secure environment. It also ensures the material has good documentation and metadata that makes your data citable by those who reuse it. It is important that the storage of data generated during a research project is planned, structured and organised. Bad data storage may risk the loss of data which is not properly organised or securely backed up because it is difficult to locate, is inaccessible by those who need it, becomes corrupted, or is lost for some other reason. Good data storage practice is to ensure that data is stored securely and backed up regularly, clearly structured in terms of different versions, and future-proofed against technology or software platforms becoming obsolete or no longer locally supported. It is crucial that the data generated during research is properly archived. It is important to consider this at an early stage and answer questions such as where will the data be stored, how will it be accessed, and who will have permission to access it, and how will the cost of long-term storage be covered. If data is not correctly archived, it may be difficult for the data to be used and reused by the research community, and so may not be compliant with funder storage and access mandates. In turn, this may affect the impact of research outputs and reduce the number of potential citations. If data archiving is well managed, including the use of adequate metadata, research data is discoverable for reuse by all members of the research community. At the same time, it is important that sensitive data is archived securely with access being controlled. Use the University Data Management Templates at dmponline.dcc.ac.uk to create your plan at the start of your research project. There may be sections that you cannot complete with a great amount of detail at this stage. However, this will highlight areas which you need to pay more attention to as your project develops. As such, a DMP should be a document that you use and adapt throughout the research life cycle. Thank you for listening.